Think about the last time you achieved something you're proud of. Maybe you climbed a mountain, or you could have beaten that boss that you've been struggling to beat in Elden Ring and just ruined your week. But you look to your right, and then there's someone who's beat the game blindfolded. You look to your left, there's another person who's climbed a mountain only doing a handstand. Now, are you thinking, these guys stink of poo? Or are you the type to try and one-up them? Or maybe you try and beat the game, but you don't take any damage, or you climb the mountain doing a handstand and wearing a weighted vest. You know, it seems silly, but we've kind of reached that point where easy is too easy. We're looking for something more difficult, looking for a challenge. But is that the case? Are we still just looking for a challenge, or are we trying to crave for more? Maybe looking for a struggle? Well, welcome back to episode 4. I'm your host, Josh.
Theo?
And yeah, we're back with another episode, episode
Theo?
4.
Doing well. I
Yeah.
like this. I like that start. Yeah, it's true. I've seen so many videos of people doing some crazy feats
Yeah.
on games, especially, and
Yeah.
it's like
Insane
playing with a
stuff.
trackball, playing blindfolded with 3 monitors, playing with their feet.
Yeah.
Have you seen the ones where they've had like playing with the Guitar Hero
Yeah, the Guitar Hero, like,
equipment
guitar
thing?
thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
this is just
wild.
insane stuff. I remember I saw one where I think she did some crazy coding and she like hooked it up with her brain. So like
Wild.
I think she would think about something, like think about like a square, and then
Yeah.
that would be how she moved forwards or something.
That is
It's just,
difficult.
ridiculous stuff that people
Interesting.
are doing.
Wow.
Yeah. And to be fair, when I mentioned about the mountain climbing one, that was actually something someone did. Some guy in China managed to climb, I think it was the Tianmen Mountain,
Jim Mountain.
only doing a handstand.
Only doing a handstand.
Yeah. Crazy
Right.
stuff.
This will be an interesting episode, eh?
Yep. Let's look more to like the real world, or like real world stuff. I've noticed that there tends to be, I've seen like a lot of people doing more endurance activities. So things like, marathons, triathlons, Ironmans,
High rocks.
yeah, all these kind of stuff. And I remember you signed up for a triathlon at one point.
This guy's exposing me right now. Right.
I guess my question was just like, why? Why? What made you want to sign up for it, I guess?
Competition.
Competition.
As
Okay.
always. Look, I'll just set the scene. All it was in the office. Some guy said, I'm gonna do a triathlon. It's a really small one. It's a half triathlon, by the
Yeah.
way. It's like the weakest of the weakest. There's children doing it.
Yeah.
As soon as he said children, I was locked in. I said, say less. I'll do it. The children are only doing it. It's only a couple meters, 20K bike, easy. And yeah, that's what got me into it. It was the competition. It was the fact that children could be doing this as well. It kind of made me think, if children could do it, so can I. Why not? And it's also something I've always wanted to say I've achieved. It's so great saying, oh, I've done a marathon or
True.
I've done a triathlon. It's great to have that as an achievement. So yeah, I think that was what sort of got me that competition and then that sense of purpose in a way.
Okay. I guess, yeah, it kind of makes sense because I'm trying to think. I'm thinking back. I don't know if I could do like a triathlon or a marathon. I think the most I did was cross country back in secondary, but that's just like, it's not, all it is just running essentially.
Yeah.
There's no like real end goal. Well, at least there wasn't really an end goal. It's just run, and that was it.
Yeah.
And even then, it was like I did it for a bit. It was, I guess, yeah, there was some sort of fulfillment, but then I don't know. I guess my thought was, because you mentioned about it felt like an achievement. Do you think that's why most people want to do things like marathons and
Yeah.
all these like endurance stuff?
I do say so because when you achieve something, humans are always trying to achieve something of some sort, make a name for themselves in some way, even when they say they don't really want to.
Yeah.
They always want to achieve something. Even if it's in the small things, like, well, I want to make sure I wake up earlier
Yeah.
often, or I want to make sure I get to work earlier, or I want to make sure I do this at work better. These even small things are in itself a challenge for them. So yeah, we always want to, and the challenge comes from the reward at the
Yeah.
end. There's always a reward that we want to get. And that sense of achievement, that sense of betterment is probably what motivates people, I would say, to want to do these things. Yeah, in my opinion.
So would you say that's like higher than like, because some people do it for like the health
Health
benefits.
benefits, yeah.
Do you think that the health benefits are lower or higher than in comparison with like the sense of fulfillment and achievement? Or is it just like an added,
Byproduct.
byproduct, like just an added, oh, plus you get this? Because I feel like most of the time, people aren't doing it for the health benefits as
Yeah.
such. If it was more like they have this goal of I want to do this marathon, I want to achieve this time in a marathon, or I want to do this triathlon. And it's just like, oh, and also technically it's also healthy. So
Yeah, I do get where you're coming from, but I also think it also depends on your situation, your current situation as it stands. If you are obese,
yeah,
if you've got some health issues in that kind of sense, and you were told by a doctor you need to be hitting to the gym, at that point, your goal, your commitment, your challenge is to lose weight for the health benefits, right? There is nothing else. But if you're a regular person, you're not as, not overweight, no health problems per se,
yeah,
at that point, let's say you go into the gym, it's purely aesthetics. You wanna look good. There's an achievement in there. You wanna reach a certain physique,
yeah,
and that's what makes you want to look good. So it depends on your circumstance at the moment. Is it a byproduct, health benefits? It can be. It can be. Like I said, it depends on your circumstances. But for the vast majority of people that are doing these high rocks, triathlons, marathons, it's not for the health benefits.
yeah.
It's for the achievement that the health benefits are. But in fact, sometimes there is no health
Yes, yeah.
benefits.
Sometimes it's actually like
Sometimes it's a
kind of
detriment,
detrimental. Yeah,
because yeah. But yeah, I'll say it depends on the circumstance. That's for sure.
yeah. I guess that kind of makes sense. I guess. And I think the other thing I was thinking about was, is there, because you mentioned like competitive, like, you were competing against like children who were doing it, right?
Basically,
So is there that sense of achievement that you've done it and it's like, not everyone can do a marathon, not everyone can do a triathlon, not everyone
yeah,
can do, is there that like urge to do it because you know that not everyone can do it, but I've
I've
achieved it?
achieved it. I think it comes down to, I think as humans, we don't like to be average.
Hmm.
We
Yeah.
don't want to stay average. So in anything that we do, as long as we feel like we're 1% better than the
Yeah.
rest, we'll do it. We'll try and we'll crave that, I
Yeah.
think. So yes, I'm better than the kids. Like in
Yeah.
hindsight, that's stupid. Okay, yeah, I'm better than the kids, great, but who cares? It's kids. But now I can say to someone, yes, I've done a triathlon. And this person, let's just say, is a couch potato, doesn't want to do that stuff. I'm now technically better than him in that sense,
Sense, yeah.
But then he's also better than me in another sense. But the main point of it is that we always want to think we're above average
Yeah. 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 No one wants to be average or at the bottom.
or at the boss. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, yeah, to be fair, it's always like when you have like tests, like the one thing you don't want to do is be like at the bottom with the lowest
Exactly.
score. You always want
Exactly.
to have at least one person you can say, oh, at least I wasn't last.
It's
Yeah.
exactly. You even see that in communication with people anyway. Like when, let's just say you did really do bad, like you say, at least I wasn't last. Or look at these guys, look at these chums. These guys are
Yeah,
terrible.
true.
At least I'm better than them. There's always that comparison framed as competition. Yeah. Good or bad. Good or bad, but
That makes sense, I guess. Yeah. And I guess part of that, have you seen, there's this app I've saw a lot of people have, it's called Strava. Have you heard about
yes,
that?
I see people Strava post
Yeah,
all the
Strava
time of
post.
how
Yeah.
they run. Some people making some funny images when they run, and
Yeah.
all the ones where they're just posting like,
Yeah.
I did a 5K in 20
20
minutes
minutes.
or whatever nonsense. Well, whoa, sorry, not nonsense, guys. If you use Strava and all
About
this,
to trigger so many
I'm
people,
sorry,
so many Strava
but
users.
running's so boring. But anyways, I digress.
So for those who maybe aren't fully aware, Strava is basically just an app that just logs, you use it mainly for running. It logs your runs, your distance, how far you went, your speeds, things like your heart rate, your segments, how fast you were at certain points. So it's basically just like a stat checker for your runs. And I think the biggest appeal that it had is that it connects you to your friends. So you can compare your score with another Strava user. So
Okay.
usually it'll be your friend. You'll see what are they doing? Yeah, what are their times?
Yeah.
What are their runs? How far are they going? And then it's
Yeah.
basically just as the way I've seen a lot more people use it as a sort of like competition where they're
Yeah.
comparing it with their friends, like how, I beat my friends. I was this week I did the most runs kind of thing.
Yeah.
What do you think about that app? Do you think it's a good idea or do you think it's kind of taken away from, I don't know, the point of running?
I think it's a great idea. Like we just mentioned, it feeds into the competition side of things. It's not even just that Strava app. I've actually seen it in there's another app is for paddles, people that play paddle.
Oh, okay.
If I can get the name, it is called. Starts with a P. My guys probably know what this is, but essentially it has that sort of there we go, Playtomic. There we go,
Tom.
Playtomic. So, anyways, use this app and on the app itself, it actually gives you have your stats as well.
Yeah.
And every player, every person you invite to play paddle with you has stats. So yeah, you can use that sort of as a way to see how your friends are doing, have a competition type of thing. And a lot of apps are doing that nowadays when it comes to actual
Yeah.
physical activity. There's always a competition element to it, not just record your stuff. Almost goes back to what we talked about last time about community. And I think a sense of community makes people stick to something longer.
Yeah.
So yes, I think it's a great idea rather than just, I ran for
This,
5 minutes. Who do I tell? You want to brag at some
true,
point. You
true.
want to say, why do people post those videos about them beating Elden Ring with their eyes
Yeah.
closed if they didn't care about the recognition that they're just about to get? Why do people do speed runs
Yeah.
and post it online? Why do people go to Guinness World Records and post their stuff
Process.
on there?
Yeah.
There's a sort of we want sort of recognition for what we do. Yeah, having a Strava app that shows what my friends are doing and I can post what I'm doing to them and they can see it and they can do better. It's a feedback loop, I think. So it's always good for the sport.
And I think for me as well, it's like the proof aspect because it's
Yeah,
like, yeah, I can say I've done I don't know, 10K run in 20 minutes, but it's
yeah.
like, where's the proof?
Where's the
Yeah,
proof?
I could just be,
Could have
be
been
lying.
lying. Exactly.
So yeah, having the app
Yeah.
at least you could, you know, for a fact it's at least authentic, unless they obviously go into like a car or like a bike or something. I've
That
seen
just
some people like cheesing it with that.
defeats the whole purpose of the thing.
Yeah,
Like,
but
yeah,
yeah,
no,
I guess
unless
it's,
you do that.
but yeah, I guess it's the proof bit that's pretty good, pretty good. And then I guess what about have you seen any like trends with like board games or like with people being more either competitive or just more obsessed with trying to be good at games? So like the one I've noticed was chess.
Yes, big
Like
time.
there was this sure of chess.com, all that kind of stuff. There was this
Yeah,
huge boom where people were almost, it feels like everyone at one point was trying to play chess.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I guess with that, I was wondering, because for me, I didn't see it as people seeking a challenge with chess. I felt like it was more so like a, what's it called? Like a trend. You know, everyone's playing chess, so I'm just gonna play chess. I don't really find it's like I'm not focusing on the difficulty and trying to get good because it's difficult. I'm just
Okay,
doing it because everyone else is doing it. Do you
okay.
think, well, have you noticed any like board games or
I
similar
mean,
things like
yeah,
that?
you pretty much said it really. Chess is probably the thing. Some years back, it wasn't a board game per se, it was Clash Royale
Yeah, Clash
for a
Royale.
time. That was like the in thing. Yeah, apart from chess, I can't really think of anything else. Like, I know people like to do a lot more puzzle games now, whether that be just a simple like Wordle.
Yeah.
Wordle
Oh,
became really
yes, that
popular.
was it. Yeah, that's a good one.
So, yeah, I think there's been an uptick of people trying to do more challenging stuff, brain teaser type of thing.
Yeah.
Even myself, I even got this app quite recently. It's been really good for me. Elevates.
Oh, Elevate. Yeah, I remember I used
You
that
remember
some
like
time
years
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, even that, it's very good. Maybe a byproduct of social media. And everyone, okay, here's what I'm saying. This is just my thinking, but because people are so on social media, so chronically online, we're sort of losing brain cells.
Yeah,
All
true.
right, brain rots. We have that. So maybe these games, the chess.com, the Clash Royales, the elevates, the brain teasers, the wordles, is a way for us to combat the brain rot that we're receiving right now.
But I don't know. For me, well, so if you think about Wordle, for example, with Wordle, it was very rare that it felt like it's actually making me think. Because I
Okay.
remember there was like strategies where it's like there's certain words that you just put in and you can like instantly eliminate like half the characters, and then it's just at that point it's literally just like a free guess. Or like something like chess. I know there was like, I think there was a few streamers where they were playing it, and it's like, what was his name? I think it was Tyler One. Yeah, he was playing chess, and like he eventually got like all the way up to like high rank or whatever. I think it was like grandmaster or whatever.
Yeah.
But like when people like actually looked at his games, it wasn't a case of he actually like truly understands and he's really thinking about the game. It's
Mhm.
more he just kind of brute forced his way up there.
Okay,
So
wait, wait. That's a question. How do you brute? I'll be
yeah, no,
honest.
that's what I
I
was
don't know
thinking.
how to play chess that well
Yeah,
at all. I know what the pieces do. I don't know what actually the strategies and stuff. But how do you brute force
I
chess?
think because in chess, I think there's like certain like strategies or like there's certain like formations. I don't know what it's called, but it's like the way you move certain pieces, like it's known as something like, I don't know, the Queen's Gambit or something. Like they'll have like a name. So I think he was doing like one or two different like two strats, and that was all he did for like every single game he played. He would just
Okay.
play those few strategies until he was so good at those that he just like he could just win, basically like brute force his way to a win. So I don't
So,
know. That's how he
so
kind
do you
of.
think that wasn't? Sorry, carry on.
No,
Make your
no, I'm
point.
just
Make your
saying, yeah.
point.
That I feel like that was how. Well, at least that's how some people would describe it, his game. As in,
Okay.
it wasn't a case of he's truly understands and he's like truly really good. Like, well, technically he is really good, but like he's not like on a Magnus Carlsen level where it's like he can see like 15 moves ahead and he knows
Mhm.
if they do this, I can counter with this and this and this. Like it was more a case of I just know my one strategy. I
Well, I'm
know
going to
maybe
do
how
it.
to counter a few people that try and counter
Mhm.
that strategy, but that's it.
Okay.
And it somehow worked.
Interesting. Would you not say that still takes time and work and effort
Yeah, no, it did take
to
time. Like
do?
it took him months to do it, but
Yeah.
I don't think I would put that at the same level of what's the word? Not really difficult, but like same level of like training or playing as someone who's like trying to learn all the different, moves that you can do, all the different starts, all the different counters, all the different, techniques in chess.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah.
I'm gonna I'm gonna simplify it, I think, in my perspective. I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. I'm gonna simplify it in how I view it. He was looking for short term results.
Yeah.
So his training stopped when he learned those three strategies. That was it. I think when we're competent with something, right, and we're very confident in it, we typically just stay at that same level rather than pushing to the next level. It
Yeah.
takes a special kind of person to keep going at that point. I'm going to use Tyler's example of the chess to the gym, for instance. Let's just say you've been going to the gym for a few years now and you've gotten to the physique that you want to look like. What actually keeps you going to the gym other than to maintain what you already have? You're not trying to get any bigger at all. Well, some people are, but
Let's just say in
typically, for
this
the
one, you're not.
vast
Yeah.
majority of people, once you've got to the physique that you want to be at, you're literally there to maintain it. And that's literally what Tyler was doing at that point. He got to his three strategies. Yes, he took his time to get there. But once he got there, once he realized how he needs to destroy everyone with it, and people who are in opposition to it, once he's realized all of these techniques, all he had to do was maintain it.
Yeah. Okay.
Would you say that's still not a challenge? I think that's still a challenge. To you, I don't know, it might be different, but
I guess, yeah, you could say it was a challenge because it also meant like you're restricting your options kind of, and then you're trying to learn how to play with those limited like options that you have. Whereas someone
okay,
like,
that's a different angle of taking it
yeah,
then. In a way, restricting your
like almost like
options.
nerfing yourself in a way but
But that's not what he was doing, clearly.
yeah,
It was just learning those three. Okay, I think that's the difference between you and him. I know you, Josh, as a person, when you want to learn something, you
I'll
will
learn
learn
it.
it from A to Z, right? Whereas he probably just learned from A to D and he kept to D the whole time, okay? To you, that's not enough,
Yeah,
all right? I know that's who you are as a person, which is good. You know, you will learn from all the way to the end, all the strategies. You've had a Rubik's Cube for a while
yeah.
and you know all the techniques and all the trying
Algorithms,
to
all that
learn
kind of
more
stuff.
algorithms and
Yeah,
stuff like that. But that's just not how some people's brains are wired, I think. I think I'm more on Tyler One's example
yeah.
of once I get competent, that is all.
Okay, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah, because yeah, for me, I want to know that I can not really almost do everything, but at least I have good knowledge of everything I could do. I know all the options. I know
So
everything.
so you're going from competency to pro,
Yeah,
to expert.
yeah,
So you want to be expert.
yeah.
Okay. And that in itself is a challenge. They're both
Because
challenges.
yeah,
So it depends which one would you rather take? Which one? How do you know that that is what you are as a person?
I guess it's you can kind of extrapolate that from other activities that you do. So it's like you see how you approach one thing, you see how you approach a different thing. And like if you're approaching them is in like basically like the same style, then you can kind of guess that that's probably like, for example, like chess, for example, when I tried to get into the chess thing, and like there was a time where I was researching into like all the different like starting moves you could do and then all the different techniques and then counters and how to checkmate and one and all that kind of and like yeah there's a lot
There's a lot.
in chess, like too much even.
Okay.
Yeah, and to be fair I didn't stick with it, but if I'd stuck with it,
Is that why you didn't stick with it? Is it because you measured how long it would take to actually be a pro at it
yeah,
and looked at the time it would take and the dedication and foresaw that it's going to take a long time and that's what made you sort of wean off it? Whereas someone who's thinking more short term isn't thinking I need to be a pro. They're thinking I need to know how to play chess.
yeah,
As simple as that.
okay, I
Do you
see.
think then they can pick up things faster than the one that wants to do pro at things because of that mindset?
Probably, yeah, because I guess they're more focused initially, whereas the one who's trying to do more is a bit more like he'll be dabbling in a lot of things at once, whereas the person who just wants to not suck at chess,
Yeah,
for example, is kind of just honing the few things that they need to do to not suck at chess,
yeah,
essentially. Whereas the person who's trying to like get pro is looking at everything now. He's thinking about, oh, how do I move this? He's almost overthinking a little bit.
okay. Good
And
or
yeah,
bad?
that's probably, yeah, that might have been why I didn't stick with it, I guess, and also I think as well, maybe it's just that it wasn't really a big goal of mine to be a pro at
Fair enough.
chess, to be honest.
Fair
I
enough.
did hop on the trend because everyone was playing chess, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, if I did have it as a goal to be, or at least to get to grandmaster or whatever, pro level at chess, yeah, then I probably would have had stuck with it a lot longer and like gone the difficult route of trying to learn everything and but yeah, maybe but I know for a fact you would probably just you're okay with just getting
I'm okay with just getting one strategy. If I know how to do a queen's gambit and I know how to counter it, that's all I need
that's
to
it.
do. I'll just keep
Fair
playing
enough.
that the whole time
Yeah.
and just hope that I think I'm maybe using it as a party trick
Mm.
rather than ranking up. That may be the difference. I'm going to gatherings or something, and someone said, "Hey, I got a chessboard." I say, "Oh, fantastic! I can play." And at
Yeah.
that point, I'm just gonna do exactly what I've learned, and I'm gonna use it there. Once if they beat me, so be it. I'll just keep using the same strategy every single time, and exactly like Tyler won. But for someone like you, per se, you're not just using it as a party trick anymore. You're taking it outside of us mere mortals
Yeah, I
who
guess.
are like basic. You can beat everyone at a party
Yeah.
anyway, and now you're going online. Now you're ranking up and going to grandmaster. And yeah, that's the difference.
I
Maybe
guess with that, do you think then there's a point where if someone becomes too good at something, like, do you think that it can stop being fun? So like with chess, for example, if someone becomes too good at chess, like you said, you like to do it as like, oh, if someone, pulls out a chessboard, yeah, you can play. But if like that person or someone is just way too good at chess that like, yeah, no matter what you do, he'll win. Right? Like he's like
Yeah.
Magnus. He's like, I would never play against him because I know for a fact he'll always win. Do you think that there's a point in certain games or activities where it's like if you become too good at it,
Loses the fun.
yeah, either for
As
you or for
I was
the
gonna say, which
yeah
perspective are you saying it? Are you saying it as the person
playing
being
or
the
playing
pro
against?
or playing against the pro?
I
I
guess
think
for both. What do you think?
okay, playing against the pro for me personally doesn't ruin my fun. Doesn't ruin my fun at all. Being the pro and beating everybody might lose its fun.
Interesting. I think for me, I feel like being the pro and beating everyone wouldn't. I feel like that would be more fun because for me, it's like, oh, now it's the sense of, oh, I'm kind of the competitiveness. I'm like, I'm better than
I'm
everyone
better
here.
than
You know what I
everyone.
mean?
Yeah. Who could challenge me?
But I feel like playing against it is the part where I don't think it's fun anymore. I
Okay.
think because like I remember seeing this like quote from you'll be surprised. Was a quote from what's it called, from Beyblades.
Beyblades.
Yeah, I think one of the newer like seasons or whatever it's called. It was just like it was this guy, they were two versus each other and one guy was losing. And he was like, you see how, I'm going to butcher this, but he was just like, you see how I'm having fun, but you're not because you're losing. And it was just like, games are more fun when you're playing to win, not playing to lose.
Okay. Fair
So
enough.
I don't know. When I thought about that, it just made me think like, actually, yeah, to be fair, it's
You're
like,
right.
why would I play against someone knowing that no matter what I do, I'm going to lose? It no longer becomes fun at that point. Whereas if I'm playing and I'm winning, I'm clearly going to be having
Hmm.
fun. Yeah, or like think like something like Uno, for example.
Yeah.
Who wants to be the loser back to back to back in Uno? But if you
Hmm.
win, I don't know. I feel like it gets fun, and then obviously, then I don't know. That's how I see it, at least.
Dependent on the game.
Yeah, I think that was my next question: is do you think that are there exceptions? So, like you said, chess is fine. Do you think there's
Big
certain games where
exceptions.
it's like being amazing at this is just it just ruins out fun. So like I don't know, bowling for example, or someone who plays sports, basketball, football, that kind of stuff. Do you think that there's some activities where if you're too good, it just ruins the fun for everyone, or if you're too good, it doesn't actually really matter at the
Okay,
end?
so I'm actually gonna change just based off what you just said, the quote and everything. I'm gonna change my opinion on what I said earlier about who's having more fun. Yes, actually, if you are the best, I think you are having more fun
Yeah,
compared to this person that's losing all the time. When it comes to physical activities, bowling, chess, well, not the physical, but when it comes to things
do
you actually have some skill to, and there's things you have to learn to, I think being the best is amazing. Such a good feeling. Okay, definitely. The exceptions are to games or things where it's chance based. There's a little bit of skill, but most of the time it's just
just
pure
pure chance.
chance. Yeah, and that's it. Those games, being the best at and losing as well, can both be fun. Because losing, is still a chance based game. I've just unfortunately drawn the wrong hand. We just talked about. I've drawn the wrong things. It's all
Yeah,
chance based. Is less skill and more chance. So those kind of games will always be fun.
yeah,
Even if I dedicate my whole life to just being a Uno pro, and and then I'm versus someone that's played Uno once or twice, that person will still, I feel, will still have a lot of fun playing against me.
yeah,
Yeah. So it just depends on what is required for the game. If it's skill based, like bowling is skill,
yeah,
I'll be honest.
yeah.
There's not much chance involved
Mm.
in that. Maybe the
Maybe like the pin
maybe the
just
pin, or maybe there's a little patch in the ground that has some little less slipperage. I don't know. Those are external things. But anyways, if everything was perfect conditions, then yeah, I think if it's skill based, being a pro is good. Losing to a pro is not fun. Whereas if it's chance based, all are having fun.
So I guess if it's a game where it's almost anyone can win. There's yeah, like almost anyone can win, like Uno stuff like that. It's like it is fine, but
Yeah.
stuff where the chance of you winning is dependent on your skill. That's when it's can be unfun.
Cameo one,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with that. I
I
think I
mean,
agree with that, to be fair.
think about this. How many people have you seen going pro playing chance-based games?
Yeah,
Do you see
not
Monopoly
really, no.
competitions?
Yeah, now that I think about it, no. Yeah, you can't, yeah.
Do you see Uno competitions? They're all chance-based. All these chance-based games, you don't see anyone going pro in them because there's no skill involved. There's no difficulty. There's no difficulty there.
Yeah, okay. What about stuff like poker then?
Poker.
Because that, or like blackjack, because
Ooh,
that
you got me there.
can be a bit, that is still RNG,
It's RNG.
but I don't know. I feel like that one has a lot more skill. Like maybe that one feels more,
Tips the scale of the skill and
yeah,
the
skill and
chance.
RNG, yeah, in it.
Good point, actually. I didn't think of that one. Yeah.
Because I think for me, with those, would it be fun if someone was really good at it? Probably. I don't know. I think it
That's
depends.
a tough one.
Yeah, I think it depends on, I guess, the person. Like, I feel like that one, it feels more like a personality thing, like or the group that you're playing with. Like, I feel like those feel more about like the social aspect of whether it's fun or not. Because it's like, yes, these guys could be great, but if like the energy is good,
Yeah.
I still feel like it can still be fun. Whereas if it's like, everyone is stone faced, serious, I'm in it to win it,
Type of
and
deal.
you're just losing, yeah, that's no longer fun at
Yeah,
that
it's a lot
point.
of fun at that point. I think you're right. Games like poker, where it just about tips you out of the chance into the skill, do sort of. Yeah, you're right. I don't really have any opinions on that, to be honest. I just think, yeah, like you say, it just depends on the dynamic. There's now the environment, sorry, is affecting the game rather than the game itself.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so I guess that one, yeah, is less related to the game and more now the environment, the people,
Environment, the people, yeah. If
rather
you're
than
in a casino playing poker, well, yeah, I'm losing money, so of course I'm gonna be sad if I'm bad. But yeah, like you say, if you're with friends that are taking it mad seriously, um, then again, can you play poker without some
yeah.
wager?
Well, no. Well, usually you can, like you don't know, you can get like fake chips or whatever, and just like
Yeah,
use those, whatever. Yeah, yeah,
but like you say, it's chips. There's still some losing.
yeah.
So yeah, if it's fun, if it's all fun, yeah, fair enough. But again, yeah,
Yeah, I guess, yeah. That's of like, physical games. What about with like video? Well, I guess the link between both of them is there's different difficulties. So you mentioned like you've got the difficulty where it's like, skill. It's, I guess, more like decision making. It's like your decisions affect the outcome. And then other stuff like bowling, for example, that's more mechanical, where it's like you need to have the mechanics to know, how to bowl,
yeah,
how to get the angle so it knocks
yeah,
all the pins. So usually you've got your, you know, mechanical difficulty and then you've got the macro difficulty of like decision making and stuff.
yeah.
Do you think that has an effect on like whether someone perceives a certain activity as fun? So if something is mechanically difficult, do you think that people might see that as less fun as something that is macro, like difficult with the macros and your decision making? You decide to play this card instead of this card. Which one do you think?
In terms of perception, yeah, mechanical would be less fun. I think people perceive it as would perceive it as less fun to hone your skill in anyway. Whereas macro less is less. It's weird. It's less taxing on the brain,
Yeah.
but also just as well. But also because there's also loads of variance in it as well. Yeah, one game I decide I want to play this hand, this hand, this hand, this hand, this hand, and that led me to a loss. So my brain's thinking I need to do something else in the next round. This round, this one, this one, this one, this one leads me to a win. There's that constant change, that constant variation with each and every game is probably what makes that more fun rather than the mechanical one where if I do this certain spin on the ball and I keep practicing that every single time, eventually I'm gonna get bored of doing this same move. I'm gonna want to switch it up. So there's less variance in the mechanical and more variance in the micro. And I think that's probably what makes the micro a little bit more fun. Just yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
I don't know. I think for me, I feel like maybe it's, again, this could be a personality thing, but I quite
Mm,
like the mechanical aspect
okay.
of it. It's like with bowling, for example, for me, being able to hit, those crazy spins and get a strike, I feel like feels more fun and rewarding than just being able to decide, this round I'm going to play this, and I'll win.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe in certain situations it can be switched depending on like what you're playing or what
Okay.
the game is. But for me, I think as a whole, being the mechanical difficulty and being good at being at the mechanics of something, whether it's bowling, whether it's football, basketball, all that kind of stuff, I feel like that feels more rewarding to be able to be mechanical at these things. You're able to hit these tricks, hit these things. I don't know. That's
Spoken like a true engineer, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but that's what I think, at least. I view that as the more I view it as the more fun. But which one do you think is the most difficult then? Do you think mechanics are the more difficult one, or the
No,
macro?
macro,
Macro?
macro. Mechanical, you know what to expect if you keep practicing or keep getting this one move correct.
Yeah.
You know what to expect. If I do this curve, this is what's going to happen to the ball. This is what I'm
Yeah.
expecting to see happening. Whereas the macro things require a little bit more. You have to have good memory to remember what you've done before, right? And retain certain things you've done before, and then optimize each time. You're optimizing each time you play. And that optimizing every single time is what makes it difficult to me.
True, true. And I guess adding to your point as well, there's also that kind of risk element, because it's like sometimes you just kind of, an outcome, but you might decide to take a risk this time. And if that risk pays off, then
Sounds like
it could be good or it could be bad. I don't know.
you just described fantasy
Yeah,
league
fancy.
fantasy Premier League, man.
Yep, yep. Do I captain Haaland this week, or do I
My
decide not
goodness.
to?
Do I go with the template or not? It's true. I'm
Yep.
telling you, last season, Mo Salah was the template. If you deviated from that, you'd lose.
Yeah.
And now, I don't know.
Yeah. Now,
Let's not talk about it.
yeah, I feel like this time around, I feel like there's a lot more varied captains in this
Yeah,
season compared to the last one
yeah.
with just, the one set and forget.
Set and forget person that you
Mm.
just, nah, it's
Yeah, I
tough.
feel
I
like
don't
now
know.
it's like people are switching. Do I captain Haaland? Do I go Ekatike?
I
Do
feel
I
like that's a
go?
question it's actually wild. Never used to be.
Yeah,
Well, then again, I've only started playing
fancy, like, yeah,
last
last
season,
season,
but
yeah.
yeah.
That's true. That's true. I guess, yeah, moving on to like the games now, like video games. I guess my question was, what are your top three hardest games that you've played?
Top
If you were to
three
rank them.
hardest games. All right. I'm not gonna, no particular order per
Yeah.
se, but Brawlhalla has to be number one.
Okay. Okay.
All my life, that game is tough. And those of you who know, you know, it's a sweaty game. Woof. Anyways, so Brawlhalla, I've tried platform games, and one of them I actually tried was Cuphead.
Oh, yes, that one's
Remember that?
difficult. Yeah.
Man,
Jeez.
Cuphead was dangerously
Mm,
difficult for me. Yeah. I think any Souls-like games, to be honest.
yeah.
Elden Ring, all these, anything that's just like a Souls-like game where we've got this boss that you're facing.
Facing with like
Ever,
a
and
bajillion health.
usually it's third person. It's always a third person perspective. You've got to manage this, your movement, your dodging, the parrying windows. You got to know. So even things like weathering waves, like
Yeah, true.
as a gacha, like that was quite difficult because yeah, okay, they dumbed it down a little bit, but still
That's
kind of
all.
difficult.
Yeah.
Like getting timings right, and I couldn't do it on my phone. I had to go on my
She
my PC to do it
Yeah.
because wow, some of these bosses were crazy. So yeah, these Souls like type of thing where you're fighting something that has stages, You're having to time things at a certain time, windows, parries, holds, buffs, and timing
Time.
of like how long this is gonna take. Those kind of games, of course. So yeah, those are my top 3 hardest.
Yeah. No, I think, yeah, I'm the same. I think one of mine was Elden Ring. To be fair, I haven't like fully gone deep into the game yet. I've like just done like maybe like the starting bit. But even then, that's still like, there's a few bosses in there. I was like, they are tough. Especially like the very first one. Well, that one you're supposed to lose to, but me being me,
You
I
being
was
you,
trying my hardest to see if I could beat
course,
him.
of course. Tutorial boss trying to beat.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's probably one of them. I've also been playing Hollow Knight as well. Hollow Knight recently. That one's very. That surprised me how difficult it was going to be. I don't know. I just was not expecting it to be
Even for you.
as hard as it actually turned out to be. It was really hard.
Guys, I want to just say Josh is like Maharaga, all right? He always adapts. So the
Yeah.
fact that he says that this game is hard means
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah, it was. I think it was surprising how difficult it was because I guess, to be fair, I haven't really played many, you know, like games similar where it's like you got different bosses and like, yeah, I guess, and like I think it was mainly the difference between each boss because like you can't just approach every boss in the same way because certain bosses will have like a, I don't know, special ability that now instead of being able to jump you have to dash
Okay.
or dodge or something. Yes, yeah, I think that was the one I'm playing recently. I won't, it's crazy. I've put, I think it was 30 no 40 hours in and I'm only 88% done with the
Only.
game. Yeah.
That's still a lot, you
Yeah, it's
know.
still a lot, true. But yeah, I think the max is surprisingly 112%. So there's like extra
There's extra
bonus.
bonus stuff.
Yeah.
I know you're getting that.
I'm trying
Don't
to.
even.
I'm
I
trying
know
to.
this guy's trying to get to the 100 and whatever. I said above and beyond.
Yeah, so that was really pretty difficult. And then if when I get to Silk, oh my god, that one's apparently even more brutal,
See, this game kind of reminds me of like it's like a Souls game, but
but just 2D.
for 2D,
Yeah,
but like yeah,
platformer.
for
Yeah,
platform.
yeah, basically.
Yeah, I think the two hardest together
Yeah,
in one game.
yeah, true.
Wow,
Yeah, and then I guess, yeah, my number one for now is Rocket League.
crazy.
That one is just. I don't know. I literally, I don't know what I could do to get better at that game. I watch videos, I try the training courses, and I still suck.
It's difficult. It's difficult. It's wild that you say Rocket League
Yeah,
because genuinely, it's supposed to be a fun little kiddie
yeah,
game. It's meant to be a little, haha,
yeah.
kick around a ball.
All
Someone said, kick around a ball with a car.
yeah.
And they said that's a concept. And then they said it's also the hardest game ever.
Yeah.
You said that to a regular person, they'll be like, they'll laugh in your face.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Which is
Rocket League is difficult.
difficult. I don't know. And I think it doesn't help as well. If you look at like pros play the game, the way they play is so effortless. It's like, it's like they're doing it with ease. They're not even thinking about
They're not
it.
even-
They can control their car however they want. Ball just
The
does
ball does
exactly
what they want.
want.
It's wild. Like it's in the air.
Yeah.
They're doing all these tricks and
Tricks
stuff,
and
and it's
flips
just
and-
going straight there.
Yeah.
Or they'll bounce it and they'll hit in the thing, and
Bro, yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, I think with that one, that game is probably the definition of mechanical difficulty. I think once you can truly understand, like get a feel for the mechanics of the game, then I feel like it just becomes kind of easy at that point. But it's like the mechanics is
What,
the
it's just
hardest part of the game.
like your control. It's a control game, controller game, by the way. And controller in of itself is really difficult to get the mechanics right with your fingers and stuff. So,
But it's
yeah.
funny because controller is also the easiest way to play Rocket League because playing on a mouse and keyboard
Yeah.
is next to impossible.
10 times difficult. I don't understand.
Which is, wild to think that, mouse and keyboard would actually be less superior
yeah.
in this situation, which is absolutely funny. So I guess those are my top three. Yeah, Rocket League.
Notice how your top 3 and my top 3 never included like any like shooters, any of that.
Yeah, I think that for me goes into the more of the macro difficulty because with those it's all about, positioning and all that kind of stuff. Whereas stuff like Hollow Knight, Elden Ring, all of those are more mechanical difficulty or mechanically difficult games where
Didn't we say macro was harder? Well,
macro,
I said
yeah,
macro was harder.
but
I didn't mention MOBAs.
yeah, true MOBAs. But I feel like with League, for example,
Yeah,
right? League is very. I think for me, the difficulty with League was less the macro because I could understand the macro. It was the mechanics for League because like it was. I hate. I don't know. I just can't wrap my head around the point, click, and move kind of thing. Using the mouse to
started.
move around, like it just feels weird. And like yeah, they have added WASD into it as well, so you can
Saw that.
use that. Uh,
Finally.
yeah, but even then, it's like for me, the difficulty with League was actually figuring out how to move. But I guess the macro bit, the only reason why I'm fine with the macro is because we played MOBAs, so we kind of understand the macro, how you're supposed to jungle, how you're supposed to gank, how to prioritize objectives, all that kind of stuff. So those are kind of already ingrained in me. So the only thing that I was struggling with was actually being able to move
Mechanics.
my character, make my character do what I want it to do.
Okay, interesting. I think MOBAs are special because the macro for them is
Is way more
significantly
important.
high
Yeah,
because positioning, jungle timings, and knowing when stuff spawns, itemization, builds, knowing which characters to play with synergies and combinations. These things, when it comes to MOBAs, they're just sometimes it's a lot
yeah.
to
To
know
know, yeah.
in one game. And these games are lasting like 30
Even
minutes,
as yeah,
40 minutes. So you're pretty much locked
it's
in
in.
for that time. And I think your MOBAs are very unique in that sense where they're difficult. They're just everything, I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
This is why I love MOBAs because they're just everything. They're difficult, they're fun, it's a lot on the brain, it's a lot to take in, and a lot to remember. And I think the most rewarding as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Because, like, yeah, played stuff like, yeah, different MOBAs like League, Dota, Smite as well, Paragon, yeah, or
Predecessor.
Predecessor, even
Predecessor, yeah.
Overprime when it was
Yeah.
still
Over
existing.
Prime.
Smite, not Smite, what was the other one?
Core.
Cool. No,
No,
there's
not core.
what is it called? The one, but yeah, Ethereal's another
Oh,
one. But
which one are you talking about?
no, the other, remember those three Paragon MOBAs at one point? You had Overprime, you had Predecessor, and then there was another one. I don't know why we're forgetting this. Fault. That was
Faults.
it. Fault.
Faults,
Yeah.
faults, faults. There we go.
But yeah, I think, yeah, with all of them, the thing they have in common is, yeah, how important the macro is.
Yeah.
I think with those games as well, especially, it's like, I don't know. You've probably seen like people who mechanically are great. They're able to hit all their skill shots. They're able to dodge and weave and all that kind of stuff. But their actual gameplay decision and like their decision making, terrible.
Terrible.
So you're looking
Yeah.
at them and they're like, you could get this objective, but for some reason they're trying to 1v5 for
Yeah.
no reason.
Yeah.
Or, you could be pushing this tower and then they're the opposite lane just farming jungle or something or farming
Exactly.
minions.
Like, you meant to be doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I guess my question is, do you think then, well, I feel like I don't know the answer, but do you think it's more impressive if someone was mechanically good at MOBAs versus someone who's not very good mechanically, but at least he knows what decisions to make?
I mean, yeah, the one that knows how to make decisions is probably a lot better, in my opinion, than mechanic. I'm more impressed than the mechanical guys. Like, I'll give this as an example, because it is a game I've just been seeing clips online of it. It's called Dunlock, but that one has a lot of skill. From what I've seen, it takes a lot of skill in terms of how you play it, aiming and things like that. Like
True.
you need to know how to move your mouse and stuff like that. Lots of skill in that sense. Even stuff like movement, like bunny hopping and sliding and things like that. These are the mechanical side of things, which to me are impressive. However, at the end of the day, you gotta remember it's still a MOBA. And a MOBA is you have objectives to hit and you have to hit them. You have to get the tower, you have to get the core, and and that's how you win.
True.
Mechanically being amazing isn't gonna win games. So yeah, I'm more impressed by the actual knowledge of how to win
Yeah.
and the macro side of things rather than the mechanical prowess that you might have.
True. No, I think, yeah, I'm with you with that. I think it's always, I feel like it's more frustrating losing because, or seeing someone lose because mechanically they're good, but their decisions are just terrible.
Yeah.
It's way more frustrating to watch that. Whereas watching someone who at least knows what he's doing, he's making the right decisions, but maybe he's just not, he's not able to dodge. He's not able to, bunny half ball or something, but he's still doing everything right. He just, mechanics isn't there. I feel like that if I was to watch someone like that, I would be less frustrated compared to watching someone who's just essentially just inting for 30 minutes straight, but he's somewhat good at the game.
That's the thing. People, I think the problem is unlike you, I think people who are new to MOBAs look for spectacles.
Yeah.
They look for the guy that knows how to do the flashy
Yeah.
two-step bunny hop, twist it around, do the slide and the jump and the aiming down and all the stuff. Look at how trick shots were back in like 2013 and 14. People love
Took over the
watching them.
internet, yeah.
Used to have millions of views watching just trick shots. People just spinning around,
And
getting
hitting a random
random no
go.
scopes. Like people love spectacle. So I think we're a bit different in that sense that I don't care for the spectacle. I care for the knowledge.
Yeah.
I should be in this position right now. I should be going to this camp and jungle. I should be doing boxes. I should be going and collecting all these little boxes. I should be getting this camp over here rather than someone I'm running down mid. There's one person on his own. I'm not looking at the map and seeing there's 5 others running to the sides of me, but I want this guy. I'm going to make it a flashy one.
Yeah, nah, I agree, 100%. I guess from that then, so you said the hardest games. What about the easiest game? What is your easiest game? For me, it was Minecraft, I guess. Like just the base game, just base Minecraft survival. Felt very, very easy to me because I think maybe the hardest part is just like the initial, like maybe like initial 10 minutes. After that, easy, like straight up. There's no challenge at that point. The only thing at that point is you just need to make sure you're not doing things that are stupid that could
Yeah.
lead to you losing all your stuff, essentially. But the rest of the game is very easy. I don't know. That's for me. That's my easiest
So
game.
I agree. I'm going to put that into just MMOs.
MMOs in
I think
general.
MMO RPGs or MMOs itself or MMO like type games
Games, yeah.
are inherently easy.
Yeah.
Especially the RPG side of things, the role playing side.
Yeah.
Trove
Yeah. I
is
was
an
thinking about
example.
that, yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah, it
I'll
is
be honest.
pretty
It's
much.
it's just grinding.
Yeah.
It's almost like you get off from your 9 to 5 to start your 5 to 9 on the game. That is it.
Basically.
You're just grinding life
I
in
think with
a
those,
fantasy.
it's just get high stats.
That's it.
Make your stat go high.
Yeah.
Stat high equals I can now defeat these few levels
Get high
to
stat
get high stats to
to
then
make start go high and repeat and start high and look good as well. Have to look good, but start high too. Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much yeah. With those, it's very much of just there's no like difficulty. It's just a grind. I'm just grinding at that point. I'm just grinding to get more bigger numbers, and then once those bigger numbers are hit, I can now do X, Y, Z, and that's it. And it's just rinse repeat, just
It's repeat
constantly.
over and
Like,
over.
yeah, because like I don't, when I'm thinking about to Trove, like the only times where I was struggling was just because I was too low.
That was it.
That was it. Like
You
it
just have
wasn't,
to just farm those small ones
yeah,
again.
until I got like maybe the right thing that has the highest stats that I can now compete. That was literally it. It wasn't a case of I'm losing because I'm not using my one ability right, or I'm not using my two. It literally is just a bigger number equals more damage equals now I can beat this.
Also
Yeah.
whatever. And
Yeah.
Funny enough, though, I say there has to be some kind of arbitrary goal. Trove was an example we used. There was a time when you had to grind for the Electro Wings.
Yeah.
Was it the
Yeah,
wings or the
it was
dragon?
the
Yeah, the
wings.
wings.
Yeah, it was the wings.
You had to grind for them. Obviously now they gave it free to everybody, which is annoying. But that was my goal. And because the goal was so high, I had to learn other mechanics in the game. I had to learn how to do, I didn't know this, I didn't know this. There has to be some kind of arbitrary goal in these games that
Yeah.
are so easy. Minecraft is another example, right? You go into Minecraft, you have to have a goal in mind. You can't just log into Minecraft Survival and be like, I'm just gonna just wander around and play. Like, there has to be some goal. Oh, I want to build a house. Okay, cool. How do I build a house? I get wood. Need to craft this. And what do I want in the house? I want lights. There you go. That's your goal. Okay, now you've got that goal. You go another goal. These type of games require some sort of goal when you're starting out initially. I think just living is a bit
Bit
boring.
boring, yeah. But I feel like even with games that just have a goal, so like with Minecraft, for example, I think most people's goal is to create something cool looking, right? To get to a point where you could create this really cool house or this really amazing, efficient farm, or I'm gonna terraform the entire nether to get rid of everything and just put like, I don't know, a giant building, like, all these kind of stuff. With Minecraft, it felt like, yeah, yeah. I think I tried it. I tried it in one of my previous hardcore worlds. It's very difficult because,
The entire nether.
yeah, yeah. Because basically, yeah, you basically, the easiest way, there's some people who are insane. They'll do it by hand with like their pickaxe and break everything. That is insane. Most people will just do a TNT like world eater. So, and then just
Blast
blast
everything.
everything and then, yeah. So that's what I was doing. It worked most kinda. The only issue I had was lava. Obviously, TNT doesn't explode in lava, so you have to manually clear the lava out, which was the annoying part. But yeah, yeah, anyway, but with Minecraft, it's like those are your goals, but I still would like to have a challenge getting to them because it got to a point where it just felt like there was no challenge to get to it. Because I just, after the first 10 minutes, I had everything I needed. I defeated the Ender Dragon, and now it's literally just a case of farming simulator. Oh, I just have to get X thousand blocks. I have to get X thousand gunpowder. I have to get X thousand TNT, X thousand slime. And it just became so easy that all I'm doing is farming to get my goal. Whereas what I would prefer is if there was still a difficulty. So it's like, yes, if I want to build this house, I have to, I don't know, get wood. But even going out to get wood is very difficult because at any moment this could just appear and yeah, I'll have to struggle. I have to strategize and know I need to avoid this area because there's a certain mob that's too that if I'm not prepared, I'll lose to kind of thing. I would prefer that there's always that inherent difficulty in doing anything, which is also why, do you remember when I was playing Might? It's a mod, it's a Minecraft mod called Minecraft is Too Easy. And essentially the mod just slows down Minecraft like insane, like crazy. So like, for example, with Minecraft, what's the first thing you do when you go into a world? Break a tree, get a pickaxe, get stone tools, go into a cave, get iron, get diamonds, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right? Very linear, very easy. Whereas this one, it slows it right down. So it's like, oh, you want wood? Well, you can't get wood because you can't break wood because think about it, a tree. Could you break a tree with your bare hands? No, you couldn't. So then instead you have to go get gravel. And then with gravel, you need to get flint. And then with flint, you need to find a stick to make a small hatchet. And then with that, you can then start breaking a tree, but it's very slow. And then when you have enough wood, you then need to keep breaking gravel to get copper, which is essentially your stone tools,
Wow.
to then get iron, to then, yeah, so it's like it just slows it down like crazy. And then because it's slow, then, and also they made every single mob harder. So at night is actually dangerous. Like you do not want to be out at night. So then it's like now it was mechanically difficult. And also now I'm thinking, do I have enough time to break this gravel and bring it back to my base? Or where do I set up my base? Or if I can't go out, or if I have, I don't know, a few copper, what do I use it for? Is it more efficient to make an axe, or do I make a shovel? Or do I, yeah, it was like, it just made it so much more interesting, so much more difficult, but it's like more rewarding now. Cause it's like every time I hit a milestone, I'm like, yeah, I have worked to get to that point. And it was really difficult, but I worked to get to it. Whereas current Minecraft is just like milestones are very easy to do. I don't know.
Interesting. That is very personality
Yeah.
centered because I'll be honest, a regular person ain't thinking
It's
about
true, true.
getting a modded version of Minecraft that makes it harder because they haven't completed Minecraft. They
true.
have they don't know Minecraft like that. In a way, could you compare that to like life in general? Could you say that because certain things are so easy, we go back to the title, we crave difficulty in some way. How do we crave that difficulty? For Minecraft, it's taking it down to the hardest,
Yeah.
slowest versions of it. It's not just I need to break this tree now. It's I need to get this tool to craft this, and crafting this is difficult because now I have to take this time to break this. And it's could you then apply that to how we live life now? Is it in the case of we have our phones, we can Google things so quickly. Would a way to make things harder for yourself be I can't use my phone anymore?
Yeah.
I have to read
Read.
about it. I have to look it up in a book. I have to ask somebody. Or something that were like a car. Oh, a car can get me from A to B. You know what? No, to slow down, I'm gonna walk. It's a bit of a more of a challenge for me. Dude, and by doing that now you have to then think, I need to get the right footwear. I need to make sure that I leave on time to get there in sufficient time because it takes me this long as well. I'm just drawing a
Yeah,
comparison
no, I
to
see it.
games to real life as well,
Yeah,
and why we do that.
I think that is very, very much like yeah, something that you can draw parallels to because it's like with the example like the phone is like if you want to research something, right? Like let's say you decide I'm not gonna just find it online. I'm gonna actually go to a library and research about it, which is crazy. But if you were to do that, yeah, it probably would feel more rewarding, more satisfying than just Googling, oh, how to do this or what is this and
What
finding it
is the
yourself.
Roman like, I just Googled what demon core was with the,
The yeah,
radioactive
radioactive.
isotope
Yeah.
with the spheres and screwdriver and, like, what
Yeah.
that experiment was, how dumb that was. But I Googled that quickly because I saw demon core, I was like, "What's this?" Google it, demon core, this is the description, saw a video, boom. I got all the facts I need to know then. Wasn't as rewarding though, because then now if I had gone, "What is this demon core? Cool, let me go into a library. What do I first need?" Well, what's my first
First
thoughts
thought.
I need to go to science. I need to go to radioactivity. I need to go to biographies. I need to now look at what happened. I need to look for the word demon core and stuff like that. Like that is more rewarding to get to the information. And now that knowledge I'll have gained from reading, I would have seen periphery things as well to get to that. And
Yeah.
because of that, my knowledge is even more
So
so
then
than just Googling what demon core is. Now I just know the specific story and I know what it was. I don't know the periphery. I don't know where this was obtained. I don't know how maybe how the scientists even got it to this stage. I don't know any. I just know what the demon core was. I just know the situation, the story, and that's it. Simple. There's more reward in the. So then, do we need to slow down in everything now?
I
More
think
so.
so. I think so. I think, yeah, because everything is so easy to, I guess, access, so easy to get to. We need that sort of thing. We need something to stop us, to slow us down. So, and that obviously adds difficulty, but I feel like it's kind of almost, it's beneficial. It's not necessarily mandatory. Like we don't
Okay.
have to, but there's more benefits if we do so than if we don't. Because like with like so yeah again the research stuff you gain more knowledge outside of that with games for example like this might mod that I'm playing I've gained technically not all the aspects of the game of the mod are in Minecraft but at least it's improved I guess it just improved how if I was to just play base Minecraft I feel like I'd be much better, more equipped to do it, even if it was like a completely new, like, I don't know, new version of the game. I feel like being able to have played this very difficult version and now I'm going back to it, I've gained more knowledge, more mechanics. I know how to do more stuff compared to just base game where I'm kind of, I'm basically just maintaining my knowledge at that point. I'm not learning anything new. I'm not improving my skills. I'm not making anything like, there's no challenge. Whereas if there is a challenge, you benefit more, you gain more out of it.
So you're saying there's always a benefit to challenge in whatever we do, right? I do agree with you. I do agree with you on that one because it's true. Even I don't wanna take too much time on this at all, you know. But even like relationships, I feel there could be a challenge. Like I feel like when things are going, it's weird to say. Okay, this might be. I don't know how to say this really, but there needs to be challenges within even a relationship,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? not toxic, like when it's like things are toxic, but in the sense that challenges of bettering yourself, maybe understanding your partner even more. Not just partner, it could be friendships as well. Maybe going out of your way to call them more, things like that. Those as well presents itself as a challenge as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll say even in that kind of sense, like relationship wise, there's always challenges to be had.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
like,
that will improve you as a person, make you as a better person. I'll say.
I guess what's that phrase they always say? Where it's like, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger or something like
Yeah,
that. It's like, yeah, if you do the harder stuff and make your kind of get out of it, like find a way to, you know, do those things and make it past, then what you have now is even stronger than
what
what you
you
had
had
before.
before.
So yeah, true. You could apply that to relationships and stuff. If you can understand and get past those difficult parts, then what
Yeah.
you have is even stronger.
Even like being vulnerable is something difficult that you have to do in a relationship. But yeah, getting past that would then, yeah, like I say, make the relationship stronger.
Okay, what about you? Do you have what is your easiest game? Do you have one? Or a game that you think is
Clash
just
Royale. I don't know, man. I hop on that game. I do well. I hop off.
yeah. I feel like with that one, although to be fair, I feel like with that one, it's a bit of a pay to win
Oh, let's not get
aspect
into
of
this,
it.
man.
Where
Let's
it's
not get
like
into this, man.
levels, of course I'm gonna win with my level 16 Mega Knight versus your level 8 troops, but
But then again, also train mechanics to get to the level where we're at. You need to play the game a long time. You need to know certain things. Once you've got that knowledge, I think it's one of those, like we mentioned at the beginning, once you've got to that certain competency, a game like Clash Royale does become easy. I'll be honest with you. And it just becomes a numbers game. And I have a better, stronger Mega Knight than you. I have a stronger tower than you. I have my deck counters yours
shows.
fully.
Yeah,
That's it. It just becomes a numbers game at that point. How many times can my deck win against other people's decks at that point? So yeah, the mechanics that you've learned, you've gone through the challenges. That's why I feel like it's easy now. There is no continuous challenge to
yeah,
games like that.
true. And like you mentioned meta as well, like with stuff like, MOBAs as well, things like Clash Royale, there's always usually every update or every patch or whatever, there'll be a meta that develops where XYZ character or XYZ deck is the strongest deck ever for this current patch, for this current meta, for this current update. Do you think games should have metas? Do you think that that's one healthy for the game? Do you think that games should always or should actually what do you think about metas? Do you think games should have them or do you think a
It
good
should.
game shouldn't?
I think they're just inherent. I think they're just inevitable. Regardless of what game it is, there's always going to be a meta. Meta's born from usually people just realizing that this character is actually really good, or this thing that they've neglected is actually really good, or certain. There's always going to be a meta. I've just like look at like certain patch notes, like increase increase resistance across the board on all your items. What happens now? There's a meta now.
True.
Now people, it's a knock-on effect. There's more resistant to this type of ability. So then that means that this other one is stronger because now there's more resist. So yeah, now the meta is everyone's running this specific thing. You look at things like Marvel Rivals and things like that when they were talking about how you need to go like triple supports.
Yeah.
That's a meta. That's probably something that the devs didn't really intend to
And
happen, but it's a knock-on effect from certain changes they make. So yeah, metas are just inherent. That's just standard part of games, I'll be
games.
honest.
Yeah. Yeah. True. And I think in some situations, I feel like metas can, in a way, still be beneficial for the game. I don't know. If there's like if like take Clash Royale, for example, if there's a meta deck, then usually there's also a meta counter deck to it. So you will have your meta deck, and then you've got a deck to counter the meta, and then you'll have a deck that counters the deck that counters the meta, and it kind of keeps going.
Circle.
Yeah. So even if there's a meta that's formed, it doesn't necessarily affect the game too much because there still is that slight variation. Obviously, there will be some outliers with it, but usually an ideal meta usually would be good. It's only when it becomes where it's like, it's this or you just lose. That's when it's like, becomes no longer fun. Yeah. Yeah. I guess kind of on that, I guess my last question really is like, do you think games should, or do you think games need to have add artificial difficulty to their game? So whether that's, I don't know, they add RNG now to make the game more difficult, or like you said, they increase, I don't know, XYZ stat across the board to make the game more difficult. Do you think that games, that's a good thing to do, or do you think
Yes.
it's just being lazy?
No.
Like,
Yes.
yeah,
I think there should always be adding difficulty to games. We mentioned Strava about competition, and what breeds competition is a challenge for the most part. So if games are adding challenges or mechanics that are getting more and more difficult with the game, yeah, it makes the game, to me, more fun, because now almost every patch there's something new to learn,
yeah,
rather than it just being, we've dumbed this down. There was this one game. So I think whenever you destroyed like a tower, orbs came out from the top of them, and the initially you had to collect those orbs to get those extra points. But then later on, they removed that mechanic, and they removed the mechanic for other things as well. Now there's no orbs that come out. The reaction from the fan base was they didn't like that, because that just removes a certain complexity to the game. You're no longer thinking about, oh, I need to collect those orbs now. So, yes, I think adding difficulty is better than removing difficulty, making it too simple for people.
yeah.
However, I do get the point of why they do it, because a lot of the times picking up a game when it's already so difficult
Yeah.
can be very daunting. Again, leads back to the last conversation that we were having a little earlier, when you mentioned that with chess, you realize there's
So
so
much.
many
Yeah.
different strategies that it can seem a little overwhelming, to the point where I don't even know if I can start. And that's that fine line that games need to sort of get, where it's difficult but not
Too
too
difficult.
difficult.
Yeah.
But then also you gotta make sure your fan base currently also have some challenge that they can be playing with. I think games have probably combated this by having two separate sort of sides to the game, where you reach a certain threshold, the game is increasingly difficult. Look at Clash of Clans. They've added this system where once you get into 3,000 trophies, the game becomes significantly harder. In fact, there's an option that says make game harder. You can actually make the game
Damn.
harder when you get to a certain point. Yeah. So maybe separating the two. I don't want to detract from the question at the start, but yeah, separating the two is what developers need to do. Does it make it more fun? Yes. But again, to entry is also really difficult.
I think that that's probably why we see so much simplification with games, is that barrier of entry, because obviously they always want new players in to get into the
Always.
game. So if the game is like just right off the bat, insanely difficult, yeah, it can be a huge turn off for a lot of people or for a
Yeah.
lot of new players. But then not having that makes the existing players who are already,
Yeah.
experienced, know what to do. Removing all these, it just, yeah. So it's a difficult line to balance with a lot of games. But I think in general, there should always be difficulty. I think sometimes the way they add the difficulty can be questionable, but I think there should always be at least an aim or an attempt to make the game more difficult, more, because when it's more difficult, it becomes more rewarding as well when you win, or when you figure out how to play it, I guess. So I guess the final question, I guess, was if there was one difficult thing that you can completely remove from your life, so it could be anything that you find extremely difficult. Would you remove that? What is it, and would you remove it? It is a
A
very
tough
difficult
question.
question.
I know.
What's it?
Food.
Food.
Okay.
Interesting.
Um, the difficulty is getting the right amount and the right food in the day, knowing what to get and how to prepare it and everything like that. That whole process when it comes to actual dieting, I think is difficult. And I think, would I get rid of, this is where, I don't want to get too much into it, but this is where it does become dependent now, because the reason why I want to get rid of that and have it just be so easy and everything is just flawless, and I just think of, I need food and food is there and that kind of thing. It's not a challenge I want. Definitely, it's not a challenge I want. I love food and I love eating, and that's the problem. I eat too much or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And knowing when to stop or knowing what to not eat, that whole thing is very difficult. Everything is very difficult. So would I get rid of that challenge? And I would.
Yeah. Actually, that question, but I can't even think of mine. I think mine's probably more gaming based, I guess. I guess the one difficult thing that I always struggle in games. Well, it's less a difficulty and more, maybe it's like a self-inflicted difficulty. I always try and play whatever game on a controller,
Control it.
no
This
matter
guy, man,
what.
every time.
No
Every
matter
time.
what. If I could find a way to get on a controller, I'll try
Always
and
on a
play it.
controller, man.
So,
This guy won't even touch a game if he doesn't have controller support.
so yeah, I think that's why I did. I guess it's less more of a difficulty, or more just a self-imposed, I don't know, restriction I just impose on
Self-imposed
myself for no reason.
restriction, 100%.
If I wish I could, to be fair, I do wish I could get rid of it, but I don't know. It's just hard ingrained in me to always use a
Unfortunately,
controller.
that's a learned behavior.
Yeah, so I can't get rid of it. But yeah, I think that's my option. Remove my reliance on always having a controller.
Especially when he's realized that his current one has stick drift.
Yeah, don't
This
get me
guy.
started. PS5 controllers. Again, going back to our right to repair. Repairing it cost me what? I think to get a repair kit to fix the sticks in total, because I have to get like a solder, I have to get a desoldering, I have to get the new joysticks. Bro, the whole thing costs like 30-40 pounds, and it's a somewhat difficult process. Or I could buy a controller for like, I don't know, 90-60 pounds.
Slightly double that.
Yeah, double that. And there's no guarantee that it won't have stick drift as well. No, it won't develop stick drift by the time I buy it. Again.
At that point, you just have to improvise and adapt, and do get these tools so you can make money off of fixing stick drift.
Yeah.
That's the only alternative,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
literally.
These companies have locked down their hardware so much
Yeah.
that you have to make it a business if you want to actually
Profit.
not lose.
Yeah, not lose, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that's the episode. And I guess for the people listening as well, I guess, yeah, write down what are things that you find cool. What are the things that you find difficult, whether it's, in real life with different activities, sports, or video games, what video games you are currently playing that you find difficult. Just let us know. But yeah, it's been a good episode. It's been a good episode. Enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, so join us in 2 weeks' time for our next episode.
All right, guys. Adios.
Adios.